Throughout the long arc of human history, the struggle to maintain strength, vitality, and resilience has been a constant companion of our species. From the earliest hunter-gatherers who relied on the raw power of their muscles to chase down prey, to the farmers who bent and labored under the sun, human strength has been intimately tied to survival. Muscle, that sinewy engine of movement, has been both a symbol of vigor and a practical necessity. Yet the fragility of this vital tissue has often been overlooked. Across centuries, scholars, healers, and observers have sought the secret to sustaining muscular health, to preserving the power that enables humans to labor, to protect, and to thrive. And while countless remedies, potions, and elixirs have been championed, from the bubbling bone broths simmered in the kitchens of the ancients to the herbal concoctions of early physicians, the truth has emerged gradually, slowly, and with the insistence of time itself. Not all that promises strength delivers it, and some sources of nourishment surpass others in ways that were only recognized with the advancement of science. In the distant past, the role of nutrition in muscular strength was poorly understood. Ancient texts and scripts often spoke in metaphor, associating vitality with certain foods, colors, or spirits rather than specific biochemical mechanisms. Warriors consumed meat and milk, believing these foods transferred the strength of the animals to themselves, yet their understanding lacked precision. Physicians of early civilizations, whether in the temples of Mesopotamia, the scrolls of Egypt, or the monastic infirmaries of medieval Europe, experimented with bone-based broths and decoctions, thinking that the minerals and marrow within bones could rebuild human tissue. These preparations were revered for their supposed restorative powers, and for centuries, the practice persisted as conventional wisdom. Elders and those who aged were encouraged to sip these broths, often with great faith, in hopes that their bodies would retain some semblance of youthful vigor. And indeed, many found comfort in these practices, not fully realizing that what they sought, true protection against the decay of muscle known as sarcopenia, required more than tradition alone. Sarcopenia, the silent thief of muscle that emerges with age, is not a new affliction. Ancient physicians described the gradual weakening of the elderly with words that reflected observation rather than diagnosis. They spoke of the bending spine, the faltering gait, the tremor of the hand, and the diminishing strength in those who once moved with ease. Yet, for all the wisdom accumulated over centuries, the remedy remained elusive. For much of human history, the limitations of knowledge meant that even the most sincere healers could only offer palliatives. They could soothe the pain, provide sustenance, and maintain health to a degree, but the true mechanisms of muscle preservation remained hidden, obscured by the veil of time and incomplete understanding. It was not until the methodical study of human physiology, metabolism, and nutrition emerged in the later centuries that the path forward became clearer. The pioneers of modern science, dissecting cadavers, observing biochemical reactions, and cataloging nutrients, began to uncover the intricate interplay between diet, muscle, and aging. They noted that muscle is a dynamic tissue constantly in flux, breaking down and rebuilding, demanding specific amino acids and proteins to maintain its integrity. They discovered that while bone broths provide minerals and comfort, they do not contain sufficient quantities of the critical building blocks required to preserve muscle mass against the relentless march of time. It was a revelation that challenged millennia of accepted practice, a quiet revolution that questioned the authority of tradition in favor of evidence. Amid this growing understanding, a remarkable truth began to crystallize. Certain foods, rich in high-quality proteins and specific nutrients, could profoundly influence muscle preservation. Among them, one in particular stood out, a food that, unlike bone broth, provides both the complete spectrum of essential amino acids and bioactive compounds, and directly support the regeneration and maintenance of skeletal muscle. This discovery did not happen overnight, nor was it the result of a single observation. It emerged from a tapestry of research, historical insight, and empirical testing, echoing the accumulated wisdom of centuries while correcting its missteps. And in recognizing this food, humanity gained a weapon against sarcopenia, an opportunity to reclaim strength even in the later chapters of life. Consider the lessons of history. Societies that incorporated rich, complete proteins in their daily diets consistently displayed greater longevity and preserved muscular function. From the plains of ancient Greece, where athletes consumed foods that fueled their rigorous training, to the agrarian communities of Asia and Europe, where legumes, grains, and select animal proteins formed the foundation of nutrition, patterns emerge. Those who ate wisely, who respected the needs of their bodies with an understanding, even if rudimentary, of nutrition, fared better against the decay of age. And today, science confirms these historical insights, identifying precisely which compounds are critical for maintaining muscle tissue, repairing fibers, and stimulating growth through a lifetime. Among these, one dietary source surpasses all others, delivering a potent combination of essential amino acids, branched-chain proteins, and bioactive factors that directly influence muscle synthesis. It is not the humble broth, simmered from bones, but rather a concentrated, complete, and accessible food that fuels the machinery of human strength. Yet knowledge alone is not sufficient, implementation is key. For centuries, the elderly accepted decline as inevitable, resigned to the weakness that accompanied the passing years. They relied on tradition, comfort, and folk remedies, unaware that science had progressed beyond the offerings of the past. Today, that resignation is no longer necessary. Understanding the principles of muscle metabolism and the nutrients that drive growth allows anyone, at any stage of life, to take deliberate action. Consuming the right foods that deliver complete protein, leucine, and other critical compounds, triggers molecular pathways that stimulate muscle protein synthesis, counteract the degradation associated with aging, and restore strength and functionality. It is a triumph of knowledge over tradition, of evidence over assumption, of progress over stagnation. History, if observed closely, provides further into the societal impact of muscle preservation. In eras where physical labor dominated survival, the strength of older individuals had direct implications for families, communities, and even nations. Farmers who could continue their work into old age ensured the sustenance of their villages. Warriors who retained muscle could defend their homes. Leaders who maintained vitality could enact policies and decisions that shaped civilizations. Muscle was not merely a personal asset, it was a societal resource. Today, with the rise of sedentary lifestyles, the stakes are different yet equally profound. Preserving muscle health affects mobility, independence, and quality of life, making the knowledge of effective nutrition more critical than ever. The lessons of history remain relevant. Neglecting the preservation of muscle invites vulnerability, whereas proactive measures deliver resilience. Across centuries, the pursuit of strength and vitality has been marked by both wisdom and error, by discovery and misconception. From the reliance on bone broths to the embrace of cutting-edge nutritional science, humanity has progressed, building upon the observations of the past while discarding what fails to deliver. The recognition that certain foods, not broths, not potions, but complete, high-quality protein sources, serve as the key to building and maintaining muscle, represents a culmination of this journey. It is a testament to the enduring human quest for health, vitality, and longevity, rooted in observation, refined by experimentation, and validated by evidence. Moreover, the impact of this knowledge extends beyond the individual. Families benefit when elders maintain mobility and strength. Communities thrive when the aging population remains active, independent, and engaged. Economies benefit from reduced healthcare burdens, as stronger muscles correlate with fewer falls, injuries, and disabilities. The lessons of history, combined with modern nutritional science, illuminate a path toward healthier aging, a path that replaces resignation with empowerment, tradition with efficacy, and myth with truth. It is a path that invites all who are willing to engage, to make informed choices, and to embrace foods that genuinely support the human body. Yet this journey is not merely scientific, it is cultural and philosophical as well. Across time, civilizations have revered strength, celebrated vitality, and sought to delay the infirmities of age. The wisdom embedded in rituals, ceremonies, and dietary customs often contained kernels of truth, awaiting the refinement of modern understanding. Recognizing the difference between what comforts and what restores is a critical step in this evolution. Bone broth, while historically celebrated, provides solace but lacks the comprehensive support required to counter sarcopenia. By contrast, the discovery of a food that delivers complete muscle building nutrients represents the confluence of empirical evidence and practical application, offering a tangible solution to a challenge that has plagued humanity for millennia. Consider also the psychological dimension. The empowerment that comes from knowing one can actively counteract muscle loss, rather than passively accepting decline, transforms the experience of aging. Individuals regain confidence, autonomy, and purpose, mirroring the vigor of past generations who valued strength not merely for survival but for the fullness of life. This awareness is the culmination of history's lessons, the practical application of accumulated wisdom, and the validation of human curiosity, perseverance, and ingenuity. In summary, the journey from ancient reliance on bone broth to the modern recognition of superior muscle building foods is a microcosm of human progress. It reflects the enduring quest to understand the human body, to harness the power of nutrition, and to maintain the integrity of muscle in the face of inevitable aging. History teaches that strength has always been prized, that knowledge evolves, and that careful observation combined with rigorous study leads to transformative discovery. Today, armed with the understanding of which foods truly support muscle growth and prevent sarcopenia, individuals can transcend the limitations once imposed by tradition, superstition, and incomplete knowledge. They can take control of their health, rebuild vitality, and participate fully in life's physical and social dimensions, honoring the wisdom of the past while embracing the promise of modern science. The future of muscle health lies not in mere rituals of old, but in the precise, evidence-based application of nutrition that builds, restores, and sustains the human body across decades.